give me fire, give me double shot it out.
Hello and welcome to the Aflac Cup Series 2003 Chase for the Cup. And today we're racing at The Rock. North Carolina Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina brings a ton of great racing at this just over a mile long racetrack. Very, very rough surface, going to chew up those tires and going to make for some great multiple lane racing here today at The Rock. Now your drivers to watch for Ryan Newman. All hope is lost. He will not be the champion, but he's still got a rocket ship and is once again on the pole for his 11th career pole of the season. Jeff Gordon, he's almost in a must-win situation to stay within the points race between Kevin Harvick and Dale Jr. Can he get it done today at a track he's been so good at in the past? Kurt Busch had a miserable weekend for one of the championship favorites. Can he try and tie the knot today at The Rock? And Matt Kenseth, a better qualifying result for the 17 team. Let's see if that can muster a great performance today out of Matt Kenseth. And then Dale Jr. hanging on to an 8-point advantage over rival Kevin Harvick. And then, speaking of Harvick, a very, very bad race car throughout qualifying and practice this weekend. Let's see if they got it tuned up for today's race. And then Jeremy Mayfield, he got his first ever Aflac Cup win at this track in ACS 99. Now your point standings, like we mentioned, Junior only 8 points above Kevin Harvick. Kurt Busch just 94 points out. Matt Kenseth and Jeff Gordon, 135, 198. Jimmy Johnson just 199. Bobby Labonte and Michael Waltrip still mathematically in this championship. Now let's take you trackside for the command. Drivers, start your engines! And there we have it. Cars begin to roll off and fire up here at The Rock for 10 laps of racing. Like mentioned, on the pole, Ryan Newman. To his outside, Brian Vickers. Jeremy Mayfield and Jason Keller find themselves in row 2. Nice start by Keller today. Row 3, Awesome Bill from Dawsonville next to front row Joe Nemechek. Rusty Wallace and Mr. Excitement Jimmy Spencer in row 4. And Jeff Burton and his Roush teammate Greg Biffle in row 5. Mikey Waltrip next to Mark Martin in row 6. And row 7 we have Ward Burton and Bobby Labonte. Row 8 we find Elliott Sadler and Jeff Gordon. Row 9 Robbie Gordon and Jeff Gordon's race car, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Kurt Busch next to Terry Labonte in row 10. And Jamie McMurray next to Dave Blaney, last week's winner. Matt Kenseth and Ricky Rudd in row 12. And in row 13 we find Johnny Benson and the championship leader Dale Earnhardt Jr. starting 26th today. Todd Bodine and Ken Schrader in row 14. And in row 15 we have Tony Stewart hanging on to 11th in points next to Ricky Craven. Sterling Marlin and Dale Jarrett in row 16. And then there's the second place driver in the championship, Kevin Harvick, way back in 34th today, having a Matt Kenseth-esque qualifying weekend. And in row 19, Scott Wimmer and Steve Park. In row 20, it's Casey Mears and Johnny Sauter. Jeff Green and Christian Fittipaldi, two Richard Petty Motorsports drivers. And then Jason Leffler rounding up the field in row 22. So we have 10 laps here, 10 miles of racing, just over 10 miles that is. Track temperature is 98 degrees. It's 66 degrees. Nice cool summer day here in North Carolina. And we are green flag racing at The Rock. Ryan Newman gets a great jump on the field as you see the multiple lanes of racing through turn 1. As we get through turn 3 and 4, the groove's going to be more up towards the wall. As Jeremy Mayfield is going to take the lead from Ryan Newman here. Newman with a crossover. But Mayfield's got the preferred lane through 3 and 4. Look at that drive off of turn 4. Jason Keller fighting for second position. Oh, Newman goes up the track into Keller. As you see the cars racing through turn 1 and 2. And then turn 3 and 4, it's kind of the opposite. You're going to see most of the cars up top as Newman slaps the wall in turn 3. Problems for the All-Tel Dodge of Ryan Newman. And looks like he's got a tire going down, heading into turn 1 and up into the wall goes Ryan Newman. A miserable championship run for a driver that had so much hope going into this chase. Ryan Newman once again. Right there's the original incident there. You see he kind of gets a little bump. And then right there he hits the wall in turn 3. And then it's all over as he enters turn 1. He goes up into the wall. Kind of looks like Jimmy Spencer may have punted him, but nope, Newman. I was watching him as he was coming down the front stretch. That car was wiggling. And the tire was down. And Newman goes into the wall and brings out the first caution of this race and the only driver involved in the incident. All right, Jeremy Mayfield looking for his first win since Pocono of 2000. Can he get it done today? Green flag is in the air. Oh, look at Jeff Burton. He's hungry as well. He has not won since 2001. We got 2 drivers with long winless streaks up front. Oh, Burton almost turns Mayfield on the front stretch. Jeremy drives it into turn 1. Gets loose again. Burton off to the lead with Brian Vickers in hot pursuit behind him. Burton looking for his first win in a long time. Vickers looking for his first win ever in the Cup Series. And look at the speed these cars carry off of turn 2. And then into turn 3 and 4. Mayfield's dropped back to 4th from the race lead. Jimmy McMurray battling for position. He ran good here in the spring race. Now Burton trying to get it done with 3 laps remaining. Oh, we got cars crashing on the backstretch. Jeff Burton was racing for the race lead. Looks like Kurt Busch may have been involved in that. Getting reports that he's got damage over the radio with a couple profanities from Kurt. Oh, Robbie Gordon gets into Rusty Wallace and Greg Biffle gets into that. Oh, yeah, you can see Ricky Rudd just pile drives in the back of Kurt Busch. Watch Kurt Busch, that 97 between Ward and Stewart right there. Terry Labonte kind of forced his way on the outside of Kurt. And Kurt really had nowhere to go. Watch, yeah, Terry's got a lot of steam there. And Ricky Rudd just into the back of Kurt Busch. Looks like Kurt's going to try and stay out here. I mean, he can't really afford to go to the back with just two laps remaining. I think he'd rather just see how many spots he'll lose in 2 laps of racing instead of seeing how many spots he can gain. Yeah, there's Kurt. He's going to stay on the racetrack, running in the mid-20s. So Brian Vickers looking for his first career win. Jeff Burton looking to win a race. Green flag is in the air. Oh my gosh, Michael Waltrip just dumped Brian Vickers on the restart. Looks like we're going to stay green, but Vickers loses a lot of positions. As Jeff Burton's in the lead with Mark Martin, his teammate, in second. Michael Waltrip battling for that second position with Mark the Kid Martin, but Jeff Burton, he's got no competition up front. He's going to cruise off of turn 4 and win this race as Michael Waltrip just uses up Brian Vickers on the restart. And Jeff Burton gets the win today at the Rock. Let's see where Kurt Busch is going to cross the line. Yeah, he lost quite a few spots, but he still is ahead of a lot of cars. So good gamble by Kurt and the 97 team there. And then Kurt's teammate Jeff Burton gets a win at Rockingham Speedway. Burton with a little bit of a burnout there in front of the crowd. Gets out and celebrates. How about that for Jeff Burton? And here's the restart. Yeah, Michael just absolutely dumped Vickers there. But I don't know. Vickers looks like he goes to make a move on Jeff Burton. Has a great restart. So did Michael Waltrip. That was the issue. They both got really solid restarts. Mikey was there. I mean, Michael's held his line. Michael definitely held his line. And Vickers just went right across his nose. Miraculously, no damage for Brian Vickers on that. He was able to keep going. That's why there was no caution thrown. Now your point standings now. Dale Earnhardt Jr. still has that race points lead over Kevin Harvick by 11 points. And drivers highlighted in red are done. That's Michael Waltrip, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, and Ryan Newman all mathematically out of the championship hunt. But Bobby Labonte, he's got a lot. We'll go over it next week at Homestead and what exactly these drivers need to do to get the championship. But it looks like it's going to come down to mainly Dale Jr. and Kevin Harvick, barring no crazy circumstances. So we got an exciting battle between Dale Earnhardt Jr. Got in the Cup, driving for his dad at DEI Motorsport, or DEI, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Kevin Harvick replaced Juniors Dad in the 29 car at RCR. We're going to have a great battle between those two for the championship. Jeff Burton won the race today. Michael Waltrip and Bobby Labonte, 2 chase drivers, getting a top 5. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and Matt Kenseth drove all the way up to 10th place to score himself a top 10. And Jason Keller, shout out to him, he also got a top 10 today. There's Kurt Busch finishing 25th today. Man, what a bruising effort today for 97. Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman finishing 43rd. Just kind of the theme for Ryan Newman in this year's championship chase. So next race, we're going to Homestead for the finale. It's going to be down with the 5 drivers. Dale Jr., Kevin Harvick, Kenseth, Kurt Busch, and Bobby Labonte. We'll see y'all there next weekend. This is JG24, JM26, signing out.